in the hood. Sometimes we'll name our kids things we want out of life, you know? Like, yo, that's my daughter, Mercedes. What's up? How you doing? That's my son, paid water bill. How you doing? Come say hi. Where's Cable? Anyone seen Cable?
Well, she is quite the trailblazer, the first Latina to create, produce, and star in her own network sitcom, the first Latina lead in a Disney Pixar film, voicing the part of Cruz Ramirez in Cars 3, and not to mention a Netflix special that came out earlier this year. We want to welcome Cristela Alonzo to our newsroom setup, our temporary setup in here.
I want to say that this isn't temporary.
Exactly.
I want to say that this is what you tell every guest for years. It's like, oh, we're so almost done.
Decades.
We're so almost done with the set. It's not even
like
funny.
the house that you see on the block that like everyone they've been working on the whole your whole entire upbringing.
It's like
right?
you're the studio that keeps the Christmas lights on all year long.
That's what. Hey, for now, that's the truth. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you. Number one, I think it's so cool your like evolution in your specials. How you were saying, I've watched a couple interviews and seen so many clips where you've talked about kind of going from the low income comedy, as you call it, to then now making some money and adding some jokes about it, right?
Yeah, well, you know, it's the whole idea of like growing up with nothing and making miracles happen out of nothing. And then when you have money, you have access to things that you didn't know you needed, you know, like healthcare,
checkups.
You know, you know, it's like my checkup, my first aid kit is just Vicks.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, right?
Like, you know, and now there's like doctors, like what? Like I go to a doctor, I'm like, do you have Vicks? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
When you, I looked at, I try to keep my finger on the pulse of all the voice that people have. So I looked at all the comments of your special, and so many people say that you're relatable. You know, they use the word trailblazing, relatable. Do you feel like that when you write these jokes, or do you feel like you're just writing about your life?
Not at all. Actually, that's the whole thing. You like, I like to be personal, and what people get out of it is what people get out of it. But you don't try to do that, because once you try to write a certain way or do a certain thing, you're gonna fail. It's like all you have to do is be what you are, and then they get it. You know, and luckily they get it. You know, it's like I always thought that my family was different. And then I realized they're not. They're actually like a lot of other families, you know?
Is that, like, I'm curious what the aspect is that makes it so funny, because I imagine for people who maybe grew up in wealth, they view it from a different lens. You know, from people who grew up low, middle income, because I feel like I laugh at it because I'm like, that's how I grew up. But then I'm sure, I also saw some comments that said they didn't even know that people grew up that way.
Oh, 100%. It's like, you know, like allergies, like food allergies. That's something that I always talk about, right? Like food allergies. My family was so poor we couldn't afford to have food allergies. Right?
There's
like,
no such thing.
We had to eat all the food, or it's like
it was just a bummer when you had like terrible gas.
You know. And then the people didn't understand. Like, there's people that grew up with food allergies like that. You know, that they're like, "What do you mean you didn't have them?" I'm like, I didn't know they existed. Like, I didn't know. And that's the whole thing. Is that like even with something like home remedies, like people with money spend a lot of money to do like home remedies, whereas when you grow up poor, the home remedies is all you got. You know, and it's like, it's that thing where like now, like I say, like the special I'm doing is middle classy, and like now I can afford medicine. So like, let's do medicine. I'm all team medicine.
Does it feel different to be a Latina in comedy? Does that play a role in how your comedy came to be?
Kind of, you know, it's actually like, I think that actually just being Latino in comedy is different. You know, and but then you hit certain markets, you play certain cities like San Diego. Like, look, I mean, I don't, spoiler alert, you're next to Mexico. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
You know, you get to certain markets where you actually get to connect with people, and you realize that, you know, you hit those markets where, like the cities where it feels like home, and that's what San Diego's like.
Was getting that special, like, was that a before and after kind of moment where it was just mind-blowing to get that Netflix special, or do you feel like you had been kind of like working this for so long?
Well, you know, it's the second one, so like when I got the first one, I couldn't believe I got the hour. Like I did lower classy, and then middle classy, I was like, okay, let's do it again, you know? And now everybody's like, when's the next one? And I'm like, good question. I have no idea. Like, you know?
I can't answer that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do want to point out the reason why we have you here this morning is because you've got several shows that are going to be here in San Diego.
Yes,
so
I'm doing 5 shows at Mic Drop Comedy Club. It's a new club. It's been open for 5 months. I love the space. I'm so excited to play it. I have 2 shows tonight, 7 and 9:30. Another 2 shows tomorrow on Saturday, 7 to 9:30. Another one on Sunday at 7. You can get tickets at micdropcomedy.com. And I'm very excited. I haven't played San Diego since, like, I guess maybe like 3 years ago or something.
Pre-pandemic stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't want to mention it. I didn't want to. I wasn't sure if people knew we had a pandemic.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to play it. It's 5 shows, and I mean, this, you know, to me, it's just, I love playing places like San Diego. I'm from McAllen, Texas, down south. I grew up in a border town.
Yeah.
So like the border town vibe.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I'm always
It's a humor
home.
that only we understand.
There's like a shortcut where you're just like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know.
And you're living now in LA, right?
Yeah,
so
I
you're
live
not
in LA.
super far out. I mean,
no, you know, look, it's what? It's supposed to be a 2-hour drive with traffic.
Right.
It's a 9-hour drive.
Oh, it is awful. My parents are up there, and that's exactly how it is. It's like, it doesn't matter what time you leave. There's no leave.
Why is there traffic all the time?
Yeah, and even coming down, like, it doesn't matter if you're San Diego County, Orange County, LA County, you're going to hit it somewhere.
100%.
You know? So,
100%. It's
we
like,
get it.
Yeah, I could fly to Denver or drive to San Diego.
Where can people check you out before we go? Just a few
my
seconds
website's
left.
CristelaAlonzo.com. I also have Instagram, Twitter at Cristela9.
Funny stuff on Netflix. Go check her out, and see her this weekend here in San Diego. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.